Most people think life gets bigger as you grow older. More friends, more connections, more social circles. But after 40, I began to understand something very different. The second half of life is not about addition, it's about subtraction. When we are young, we collect people. At 20, it's easy to have 500 friends. Dinner friends, drinking friends, occasional celebration friends. But most of those connections are not real relationships. They are just temporary overlaps in time. By 40, that number should shrink. 50 people is already more than enough, and by the time you reach 50 years old, the number becomes even smaller. 15 people worth truly maintaining. That's all. And this isn't loneliness, it's clarity. Because at some point in life, something changes inside you. Your inner world becomes large enough to sustain you. You can drive alone toward a distant horizon. You can spend an entire afternoon buried in a book. And strangely, you don't feel empty, you feel full. That's when you realize something important. Excessive socializing is not nourishment, it's noise. Real energy does not come from endless interaction. It comes from alignment. So the real question becomes, how do you recognize the relationships that truly matter? The truth is uncomfortable. Most relationships in the world are built on exchange. Exchange of benefits. Exchange of opportunities. Exchange of gossip. At the dinner table, everyone laughs, glasses clink, voices grow louder. But many of the people sitting beside you are quietly calculating something. You just don't see it yet. The true value of a relationship reveals itself in a single moment. The moment when you fall, when your life becomes messy, when your reputation is questioned. When people are waiting to turn your secrets into entertainment. In that moment, one type of person becomes visible. The person who says nothing. The one who protects your dignity when the world is ready to consume it. That person is rare. That person is the needle that stitches the fracture in your soul. Because in chaotic times, loyalty has only one real form. The ability to keep your mouth shut. But restraint in adult relationships appears somewhere else too. Not just in hardship, it also appears in endings. Because middle age teaches us something else. Many relationships don't end because someone is right or wrong. They end because people simply walk different paths. Different priorities, different interests, different directions, and that is normal. What is tragic is something else. When two people who once walked side by side turn into enemies the moment they separate, dragging each other down, trying to win the final argument. If the end of a relationship leaves nothing but wreckage, it usually means one thing. The connection was never real to begin with. It was just a temporary alliance. Strong people understand something simple. Not every relationship deserves a dramatic ending. Sometimes the most powerful move is silence, to leave quietly, with dignity. Not speaking ill of someone is not about forgiveness. It's about protecting your own character. Because the way you close a chapter reveals who you are more than the chapter itself. Leaving space for the other person is also a way of leaving space for your own dignity. After 40, one social rule becomes painfully clear. Unlimited kindness without boundaries is incredibly cheap. Many people try to please everyone. They want every relationship to stay intact. They want to offend no one. But there's a problem with that. A person without edges cannot hold deep friendships. The moment you try to satisfy everyone, you lose the ability to recognize your real allies. And here is an uncomfortable truth. A person with no enemies rarely has real comrades. That polite, agreeable harmony people admire so much. Often, it's just the absence of conviction. Real friendships are not built in peaceful banquets. They are forged under pressure. Inside conflict. Inside shared risk, sometimes inside the same trench. After 40, I stopped being afraid of expressing my stance, even if it makes me appear difficult, even if it creates opponents. Because that stance becomes the most powerful filter in life. You have to break away from cheap belonging, understand this clearly. The people who walk away because of your principles were never meant to stay. They were never part of your real circle. The moment you defend your boundaries, something interesting happens. The noise disappears, and the real ones become visible. Because true friendship is not polite, it's resilient. It's the kind of connection where two people can stand together in a storm. When life is smooth, everyone looks like a friend. When interests collide, reality appears. Life and death friendships are never maintained through small talk. They are tested in uncomfortable places, through tension, through pressure, through the darker corners of human nature. So stop sanding down your edges just to fit in. When you stop trying to make the entire world comfortable, something powerful happens. You reclaim the right to choose. And when social life becomes distilled to that point, something rare appears: resonance. After 40, I no longer chase crowded dinners. I don't measure friendships by how often we meet. What matters now is something deeper. Trust without explanation, understanding without performance, the kind of relationship where silence still feels meaningful. Because true friends are not decorations in your life, they are backups for your soul. And at this stage of life, what I value most is a quiet kind of certainty, the kind where I don't need to say anything. Social subtraction is not isolation. It is reclamation. It is taking the energy you once used to please the world and using it to take care of your real self. In a noisy age like ours, even if only 15 voices remain in resonance with your soul, that is already enough to sustain a lifetime. When the unnecessary noise disappears, you finally hear something extraordinary: the rhythm of your own life. And once you hear it, you realize something simple. Life is too short to keep appearing in other people's stories. Protect your clarity. Protect your silence. And become the true author of your own life.